Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on this Thursday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather and sports. I'm Aina Kweyom. In the news tonight, the Namibian reports that Prime Minister Sarah Kugongerwa Amadila says more Namibians will be in a crisis level of food insecurity from October to March next year. At least 1.2 million Namibians will be in a crisis for the next 6 months compared to the 1.1 million from July to September. This means that over 110,000 more Namibians will face food insecurity. Kugongerwa Amadila was speaking at the official opening of the National Platform for the implementation of the nationwide drought relief program for the year 2024-2025 financial year. The rest of the population continues to be affected by food insecurity, but they are not categorized into a crisis or emergency phase. The food insecurity situation is expected to heighten in the period from October 2024 to March 2025, with 1.26 million people expected to be affected before it moderates to 776,000 people after March 2024 up until June 2025. The Prime Minister has said this is according to the updated Integrated Food Security Phase Classification Analysis. IPC has 5 stages of food insecurity, with phases 3 to 5 being the most severe categories. For Namibia, 100,000 citizens are in emergency phase, 1.1 million are in crisis, and 0 in the catastrophe classification. Kugongerwa Amadila said vulnerable citizens should be seen as a priority for emergency relief. Without it, they can face malnutrition and death from hunger. She highlighted that currently the government's disaster response expenses are enormous, threatening fiscal sustainability rather. And we move over to our next story. The Namibian reports that South African-born billionaire Elon Musk's satellite internet company Starlink would need to surrender 51% of its operation in Namibia to operate without local partners. Alternatively, it should be exempted from operating without local partners by the Minister of Information and Communication Technology, Emma Theophilus. The minister met with Musk in New York. She could be key in deciding the fate of Starlink planned operations in Namibia if the American-owned internet provider fails to have local partners. Starlink could challenge established internet service providers such as MTC and Telecom Namibia. President Nangolo Mbuba this week told Musk that the application for his satellite internet service in Namibia is currently undergoing a legal process. Yes, Starlink was discussed. President Mbuba informed Mr. Musk at the Starlink application will go through the legal and administrative procedures of the Namibian government, and this is according to spokesperson Alfredo Hengari, who said this yesterday. Mbuba also called on Musk to invest in the country's telecommunications sector and assist in efforts to bridge the digital gap. We move over to our next story. The New Era reports that it is imperative for Namibia to carefully consider the urgent need to improve equal access to legal aid throughout the criminal justice system. This call was made by Justice Minister Yvonne Dowseb when she noted that access to legal aid is a basic human right. She was addressing a gathering of delegates from across Southern Africa at a regional workshop in Windhoek recently. It is aimed at enhancing equal access to legal aid in the criminal justice system. Dowseb highlighted that the provision of legal aid has been an element of the plan for the country's governance and nation building since the 70s, when the nation's blueprint was developed. The Constitution guarantees equality before law, access to fair trial, and the right to legal representation in criminal matters. The provision of legal assistance is one of the manifestations of the mandate of Articles 12, free and fair trial rights, and 95 state policies to improve the welfare of the people of the Namibian Constitution, she added. She also said that these rights and principles provide a foundation for constructing a system of legal aid designed to provide funding for those who cannot afford the cost of litigation. Moreover, she said the provisions of legal aid epitomize the heart and the caring nature of modern society, and that the nation is likely to be judged by how well and widely it provides those that are regrettably come in conflict with the law. Dowsep described legal aid as a cornerstone of any fair and equitable justice system. It ensures that the promise of justice is not served for those that can afford it, but accessible to every person, regardless of their status, she underlined. And that brings us to the first section of our show, where we discuss current affairs. After the break, we return with the entertainment news. Stick around.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
In entertainment news tonight, Alvaro Mucoroli, director of MTC Venture Fashion Week, will attend the BRICS Fashion Summit in Moscow from the 3rd to the 5th of October. This global event will unite fashion industry leaders, designers, and experts to discuss innovation, sustainability, and the future of fashion in emerging markets. For nations like Namibia, where the fashion industry is still growing, this platform opens doors to global markets, offers exposure to best practices, and facilitates innovation. It also provides opportunities for local designers to gain visibility, connect with the international counterparts, and learn how to elevate the fashion industry in their region. Shared Alvaro regarding the importance of the BRICS Fashion Summit as a communication platform for the emerging countries. And after the break, we return with our story of the day, where we discuss the hippos that are stuck or stranded in muddy waters.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neopaints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
In our Story of the Day segment tonight, spokesperson of the Tourism Ministry, Romeo Muyunda, speaks about the current situation at Munambezi Port in the Zambezi region, where more than 130 hippos are stranded in muddy water due to drought along the Chombe River, and 5 hippos have died. Have a look.
The Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism in Namibia is intervening in regards to the situation of the hippos in the Zambezi region, where a number of hippos are stranded in mud pools after the water in those pools has actually evaporated. The situation is basically caused by the drought situation that we found ourselves in as a country, leading to water ponds drying out and hippos being stranded in some of these pools. The pools that we know of so far are 3 on the eastern side of the Zambezi region, where in one pool that we visited yesterday, which is called Munambeza, there are about or approximately 130 hippos there that are seemingly stranded as the water levels continue to go down. The ministry has since started drilling a borehole for these hippos so that we are able to pump water into that pond so that we maintain a sufficient water level for them to survive. This is the second pond that we have drilled a borehole in this year.
After the break, we return with our community talk. In our community talk tonight, Salmi Shiwetha, who is the Public Relations Officer of Cassivibe, shared insight into why there will only be one Cassivibe volume this year and what to expect at Cassivibe Volume 14 next week from the 4th to the 6th of October at Semnuyoma Stadium. Have a look.
Of the Cassivibe event. So in order for us to really give the nation what they're supposed to get, we went to curate it and just narrow it to having one event and give a bigger experience rather than having multiple events in the year. So that's why it's now only one and not two. Yeah. So the thing is, if I have to tell you what you're expecting, then it won't be exciting and it will defeat the purpose. So I'd rather want you to come and experience that. Yeah.
What's new?
Every edition. Okay. The layout, I think with this one, especially with this one, there's quite a few changes to it. Mind you, it's bringing the Cassi back as well. So a tradition and also digital. That's great.
Economic news coming up after the break.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
According to Economic News, Namibia Financial Institution Supervisory Authority's CEO says the regulator has achieved 63% of the stated goals. Have a look.
We measured ourselves at the end of March 2024, and we are proud to say that 63 of the targets has been achieved, and 67 we still need, not 67, 37 we need to still to do. That is work in progress. So you can see that we are almost there to reach our 100% come 2027. So my colleagues are hard at work to make sure that we achieve those 11 initiatives that we have set ourselves, that we can meet our strategy. And that is a very commendable job that my colleagues have done. And I'm indebted to them for them to be able to achieve in the space of less than 3 years, about 63% of the targets has been achieved.
Let's have a look at our economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades for 22 Namibian dollars and 94 cents to 1 British pound. 90 Namibian dollars 17 cents will get you 1 euro. 70 Namibian dollars 18 cents will get you 1 US dollar. And 2 Namibian dollars 45 cents will get you 1 Chinese yuan. 3 commodities have gone up in price, that is gold with 0.54%, platinum 2.08%, copper with 2.10%, and Brent crude oil has dropped with 2.65%. And after the break, we return with international news.
eTicket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
Israeli Foreign Minister Israel Katz on Thursday rejected proposals for a ceasefire with Hezbollah after the United States and France called for a 21-day halt in the fighting that has alarmed Lebanon and raised fears of a ground invasion. There will be no ceasefire in the north. We will continue to fight against the Hezbollah terrorist organization with all our strength until victory and the safe return of the residents of the north to their homes, he said in a statement on the social media platform known as X. He dashed hopes for a peaceful settlement after Lebanese Prime Minister Najib Mikati had expressed hope that a ceasefire would be reached soon. The United States, France, and several allies called for the immediate 21-day ceasefire across the Israel-Lebanon borders, while also expressing support for a ceasefire in Gaza following intense discussions at the United Nations on Wednesday. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, heading to New York to address the United Nations, said he had not yet given his response to the truce proposal and had instructed the army to fight on. Hardliners in his government said Israel should reject the truce and keep fighting Hezbollah. Meanwhile, there was no let-up in violence. Israeli airstrikes overnight hit around 75 Hezbollah targets in the Bekaa Valley and southern Lebanon, including weapons and storage facilities and ready-to-fire launchers, the Israeli military said on Thursday. In the latest deadly strike, at least 23 23 Syrians, most of them women and children, were killed when Israel hit a 3-story building in the Lebanese town of Waunime overnight, the mayor's town has said. Ali Quassas told Reuters. Lebanon is home to around 1.5 million Syrians who fled the civil war in that country. And now let's have a look at the weather predictions for tomorrow. Katima Mulilo and Rundu, as well as Ruacana and Omaruru, can expect a minimum of 21 degrees, while Rundu, Enana and Katima Mulilo can expect a maximum of 39 degrees. Oshakati and Ruacana will expect a 38 degrees. Henties Bay can expect a minimum of 13 degrees, while Swakopmund and Valfish Bay are at 14 degrees, as well as Adamsvlei and Ludreds. Keetmanshoop and Aranos can expect a minimum of 18 degrees. And now we head over to the sports package courtesy of Sports Rep.
Good evening and welcome to the Sunset News Sports section courtesy of the Sport Rep. I'm your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha. The Mamelodi Sundowns and Brave Warriors forward Peter Shalulile has recently faced a notable decline in his form. Once feared by defenders across the continent, the 30-year-old Namibian striker has found it difficult to find the back of the net for a few months now. His struggles have not gone unnoticed by fans, with some tracing the beginning of his goal drought for club and country back to the MTN 8 final against Orlando Pirates last year. During that game, Shalulile was seen dropping matchsticks on the pitch, which the referee promptly removed. Since that incident, a number of fans believe that the Namibian striker has lost his scoring touch, with the rumored influence of Sangomas being insinuated. During the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations tournament held in January 2024 in the Ivory Coast, where he captained Namibia, Shalulile went on with high hopes as his nation's top player. The Brave Warriors rode Dion Hotto's 1-0 winning strike against Tunisia all the way into the round of 16, although their captain failed to score a goal in the tournament, adding to the growing concern about his form since his debut as a 20-year-old in September 2014 under Ricardo Manetti. Shalulile has become the all-time leading scorer of Namibia, scoring 16 in 49 internationals. Concerns has, however, been mounting since his last goal for the national team was against Burundi in June 2023, which was 12 matches ago. Sport Rep yesterday spoke with Brave Warriors head coach Colin Benjamin, who stated that the national team's keeper continues to add value to the team. The Commerce Basketball Association regular season has over the past 2 weeks culminated in playoffs that will reach their crescendo this Friday at the Decha Hahore Private Schule in Windhoek, that is the DHPS Basketball Gym Hall, where the finals will set the course for the Ultimate Championship title. The finals will kick off with the Division 1 match between Basketball Arts School against Vikings and UNAM Penguins at 1700 hours. This will be followed by the Women's Premier League clash at 1900 hours, where UNAM Phoenix will battle Atlantic Storm. All these games will be played, that is, at that venue. Definitely a big final to watch. That is all we have for you this evening. Good evening.
And with that, we've come to the end of tonight's broadcast. Make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, which is called oneupto.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV 285, GoTV 25 every weekday from 7:30 to 8 p.m. This has been Sunset News. Please don't end your day without us. Good night.